I'm Tweak. That's Kai. I report. He puffs it, and we predict it. My friend, it's always good to see you. Cannot wait for this weekend's action.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Let's shout out to you for going live, for saying live that the Seahawks were going to beat the shit out of the Arizona Cardinals. However, it was a nail biter. It was a nail
Yeah,
biter. So here we
division
are.
rivalry game. Those the Cardinals have always been pretty pesky with the Hawks
Mhm.
as of recent. So I'm not surprised either way. That stadium can get pretty loud if it needs to be. So, but they snuck that W. So shout out,
Yeah,
smelling salts.
yeah, a little. Well, what were you saying? Well, what was your one-liner? Toot before the
A
boot.
a little too to help with the boot. Yeah, you can't argue that.
A little
So
sniff
a little sniff to help with the whiff.
to prevent the whiff. Well, cool. Well, back to football. Gonna lob it up to you. Sunday slate
Oh, gotta lob it up for that
again.
Sunday slate. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. But
here
this
we
time we
go.
should know what to pick, and I'm sure I'm going to be sticking with the same picks. We'll see kind of what happens after going through it. And of course, the phone wants to do its thing. Those dang iPhone 12s, just running amok.
Oh, for real.
Exactly. And speaking of being for real, starting off very early in the morning, across the pond, over in Dublin, the Vikings at the Steelers. But despite the Vikings visiting the Steelers, I think the Vikings are still going to get that W on that one. So if you recall last year, the Vikings also faced Aaron Rodgers last year across the pond in a different game, but that was him as a Jet, but it still wasn't a great result. I think Brian Flores knows what he's going to be doing with his game plan enough to end up beating the Steelers. So Vikings on that one. Next one, I got the Chargers at the Giants. You know, move over Wilson. Here comes Jackson Dart. I don't think that QB change is enough for them to get that W, even though they are home. I think the Chargers still end up getting a W there on that one. Titans at the
Mhm.
Texans. I guess I'm going to go with the Texans on that one. It's, you know, that one's a coin flip game. You're not going to, you know, twist my joint one way or another on that one. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but give me the Texans. Next one, I got the Commanders at the Falcons. And, you know, I guess I'll go with the Falcons. I know Mariota did fine in his start replacing Jane Daniels. He'll be replacing him again this week, but they also are losing Terry McLaurin. Uh, and the defense for the Falcons, you know, it's been doing better this year. I know they had that abysmal, you know, 0 to 30 game, but you know,
Zero to
it's okay
30
to
is
have a
rough to
hiccup.
come back from.
Yeah, no doubt. But they're home compared to the Commanders, so you know, I guess I'll go with the Falcons on that one. Again, a coin flip one. I wouldn't be surprised that way, but you got to pick one or the other. You can't just say why not both. So going with the Falcons. Next one, Saints and Bills. Pretty easy going with the Bills on that one. Eagles at Buccaneers. This might be a little bit more of an interesting game because obviously they're both 3-0, and sure the Bucks might have home field advantage, but they did lose Mike Evans.
Yeah, they
So
did. They did. Conveniently, they lost Mike Evans.
I know, right? But
Yeah.
just for a few weeks, but I know. But a lot of people had some questions about the Eagles going into the games with the Rams. Obviously, some people, thought the Rams would end up covering the spread or even upsetting them. No, Eagles found a way to win because they decided to get AJ Brown involved, and that's always a dangerous combo getting AJ Brown involved, especially with Devontae Smith over there and their weapons that they have, obviously with Saquon as well. Um, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the Eagles end up sneaking this W on that one. Browns at Lions. Lions should end up winning this one. I know they're on a shorter week, but they are home. But I don't know if this is really going to be that much of like a crazy, crazy blowout. Um, Browns defense is pretty tough, surprisingly this year, despite their 1-2 record. So, no, I'm not necessarily going to say it's going to be close, like a 1 or 2 point game, but it'll keep it interesting. I'll say that, at least for the most part. So give me the lines on that one. Panthers at the Patriots. Another coin flip game. Not thinking too much about this. I think New England ends up winning this one. I know Panthers are off an emotional win against a divisional opponent, now traveling on the road. And the Patriots should be able to recover from their last game. There's a lot of mistakes from the Patriots in that one. Hopefully those mistakes get fixed, which we'll see. But Patriots on that one. Jags at the Niners. Give me the Niners on that one. Despite not having Brock Purdy, Mac Jones has been doing pretty decent in that system, but they might not even have Mac Jones because he just got injured in the last game a little bit. So they might bring Brock Purdy back because he might be ahead of schedule. I don't know. It's a lot of weirdness going on. Plus, they just lost Joey Bosa too. So, but I think they still end up squeaking out this W here. Mm-hmm. But it might be a little bit closer of a game than some people think. Colts at the Rams. This should be a pretty interesting one, obviously, because with how well the Rams played for like 3 quarters. You know, they are home, back from a long road trip. And then with the Colts, they're 3-0. They're on fire. Are they the real deal? Who knows? This is their kind of first test. So, but I don't know. I'm feeling good about the Rams on this one here. So, but again, this is probably another low key, pretty decent classic game here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close. Next one, we got the Ravens at the Chiefs. Who'd have thought these teams would be 1-2 facing each other in week 4? Just absolutely baffling. And at this point, I'm really not even too sure. Like, I guess if I'm going to have to pick one, we're going to ride with the momentum and we're going to go with the Chiefs.
Taylor Swift definitely cursed that team. Can we just talk about it?
I mean, it's not necessarily that bad of a curse making it to a Super Bowl. You know, the way they lost that Super Bowl, sure. And I think if I remember, Taylor Swift was with them the year before when they did win the Super Bowl. So, you know, tomato, kind of is what it is. I'm sure. But nonetheless, yeah, they definitely been a weird team, no doubt. But same with the Ravens. Absolutely baffling. Like their defense, usually it's pretty decent, but to not even like record a sack in that game. Oh yeah, it's the games that they played against the Bills and the Lions. I don't think either one of them recorded a sack in that one. Now, obviously, they had a better game with the Browns in the middle. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, it's been really weird for both teams. But I guess I'm going to go with the Chiefs, especially since Ravens, they're kind of on a shorter week as well. So I guess we'll go with them. Bears at the Raiders. Give me the Raiders on that one. I know both have came off of road losses, but I guess I'm going to go with the team that's home. And especially with the Bears, they don't really play too well. They're on the road. And I guess I'm just going to, like I said, go with the Raiders. It's another one of those coin flip games. If you really want to nitpick, there's a couple areas where the Bears might be better than the Raiders and then vice versa. But I think it's just enough for the Raiders to end up getting that W. And then, of course, Sunday night football, Packers at Cowboys. Going to go with the Packers on that one. So I think I'm not going to be surprised both teams being motivated. Obviously, Micah Parsons with that big trade. Obviously, Cowboys facing against Micah Parsons. And then, of course, if I recall, I think it was last year when Cowboys got wiped by the Packers. So either way, I think the Packers end up doing enough to get that W. So that is the Sunday slate. And then, man, that Monday slate looks pretty cool too, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So once again, we got the Vikings, the Chargers, the Texans, the Falcons, the Bills, the Eagles, the Lions, the Patriots, the Niners, the Rams, Chiefs, Raiders, and Packers. I think a lot of home, not necessarily home favorites, but I think a lot of home teams should end up winning this week. So,
remind me, did you pick the Falcons to win?
Yes, I picked the
Mike
Falcons.
said, "Do not." I repeat, do not pick the Falcons.
Sorry, going to go against your best wishes.
He's a homer.
Hey, he's a professional Falcons fan. I'll say that. So, I just don't know because I know what was it? They had an all-time classic last year. When Jade Daniels was healthy and Michael Penix was up and rising. Because I think if I remember correctly, that was Michael Penix's second start. His first start wasn't that well. The second start, on Sunday Night Football, they had a pretty dang good game. And I think if I remember correctly, the Commanders ended up sneaking away with that one, but still one of the better games of that year. But I guess we're going Falcons. No backing out now. So anyway, speaking of slates and all that stuff, I think you were saying bare knuckles this weekend. We finally got a bare knuckle card.
Finally got a bare knuckle card. Over in the UK, we have the card in which is, holy moly, I had it up. Let's go to here, my pending bets. We have over in the UK, we have a card, and in the main event, we have James DeGale versus Matt Floyd. I'm gonna go with James DeGale. He is an Olympic boxer. I think this other guy doesn't have the experience. It's a bare knuckle fight, so brawl might win this Matt Floyd the fight. I think the experience goes to James DeGale, and so. Next up, we have Aaron Chalmers versus Jack Finchman. I am going with Aaron Chalmers. He is a pretty popular guy over there. He was over in Dubai on the same card as me, and he was a savage in his fight. So can't wait to watch him back in there. He's a minus 250 favorite. And then Joe Lister. He is another young guy. He's going against Sean Weir, and we're about to see if he can stand the test. But I do think that young guys are starting to take over this sport, and I think we're going to see him get the job done. He is a younger guy in a bigger weight, and typically the younger guys don't do as well at the bigger weights. We're going to see. So let's see. So real quick again, James DeGale, Aaron Chalmers, Joe Lister. If you place a 20, this one is safe bet. You're going to win 38-42. If you do 100, it's like, oh, I'm not even going to do that math. Oopsie. Doesn't have the actual odds on this ticket. Oops. Anyway, now I'm going to go kind of like a far out parlay. There's going to be a couple closer, some of the same picks, but I'm going to go right through this. So I'm going to go with Matty Hill. He is plus 100. I'm going to go with Bartlomiej Kroll for minus 500. David Manzuri minus 245. Aaron Chalmers minus 250. And James DeGale minus 225. So $20 will bring you in 116. 69. So that's nice. We love to see that. I'm super pumped for these. Bare Knuckles just steamrolling, man. We're gonna have event after event. I'm just ready for a fucking fight. I know week after week. That's like all I can say. But we're in the gym. I'm getting skinny, and we're getting ready to put on a show, regardless of when, where, who they think I care. All I care about is, come on, let's make some money. Let's make some fucking money. So that's what we're hoping on. And we're going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I cannot argue that. Now to catch that fight card, is that a actual BKFC app fight, or is it one of those runs on the zone?
That is an app fight. Over across the pond, so nice and cheap on the app. So real quick, I'm just gonna look over at the UFC and see if there are any fighters that I look like I want to bet on.
Gosh, I want to say this is the Noche fight.
No, that was last week or 2 weeks ago.
No, that's right. I'm glad one of us is thinking. Just ball dropped on that one.
I'm not gonna bet on any of those. I'm done betting.
Oh, come on. Why not?
UFC is just boring as fuck.
I was gonna say it's a Australian card. Is that where they're at?
Yep, Perth.
Yeah. Okay, maybe the boredom's kicking in. I don't know. If anything, who you got on the main event then?
I think Olberg is gonna touch Reyes' chin, and that's gonna be all she wrote.
Beautiful. Good way to end the night over there. Down under, across the pond.
For sure. Actually,
I got
fuck
buddy.
it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
A small parlay.
Small A.
Let's go.
Take Jack, Jimmy, and Carlos. Let's go. Let's do it for the boys.
Jack, Jimmy, Carlos. Let's do it. At a plus 177. Yeah. $20 will bring you at 35. I don't like that. I wanted to double our money. But
I mean, what's the difference between 35 and 38? Not too much, right?
Real. Yeah, for real. But yeah, let's do the smart one, well, quote unquote smart ones, and see what we can do here. So try to get some of our money back. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I am excited. That's all I got for my bets this week.
Yep. Well, as far as weeks 20 go, this one should be another interesting week. It's the NFL. Anything can happen, and a 4-1 bet could turn into 2-3 in just one play in a couple seconds. There's no doubt about that. So, diving into week 20, I'm just telling you, I'm liking the game across the pond. Vikings -2.5. I just, like I said, I think they end up winning this game by at least a field goal. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being, a little tighter of a game. But I think just with that Vikings defense and with the competency with Carson Wentz there, I think they get enough to get the job done and beat the Steelers there. So next one I would like to go to. I think I'm moving with Chargers -6.5 on that one. Yeah, I think it just might be a little bit of a rough start for Dart. I just I don't like that situation. I really don't. I know that's the reason you got that QB, especially if I remember correctly, they traded up to get Jackson Dart in that first round, which you don't do that if you don't plan on playing that QB, but it just feels like a desperation move from a coach on the hot seat, or even like a front office somewhere on the hot seat. So I think that's enough for them to get that -6.5 point spread covered there. Next one I'd be going for, I think, is the gosh dang it. Honestly, I like the Niners Jags at the under 46.5. Like I said, there's a few good ones I really do like this week, and there's so many of them I wouldn't mind picking. But if I'm going to pick, the first two definitely were more like solid. But I have like 3 through like 9 to where it's just like, man, where should I go? Because I could see all these hitting. And this is kind of where it gets a little muddy-ish for me. But if there was something I would pick, it's under 46.5 with the Niners game. Though, well, remember what happened last time I tried to pick a Niners under game.
Yeah,
fat thumbs and all that. But I think with this one, back. Yeah, well, with that one, and I know, sure, they Joey Bosa, lightens up that defense, and that could open up stuff for the Jags. When the Jags traveling across the way on the road, and then especially with sure, they're changing QBs again, which obviously Mark Purdy's familiar with the system and all that stuff. But it's just like in the beginning of the season, you're trying to figure out the continuity with everyone too. Yeah, just I think enough for them to end up getting the under on that one. Next one, telling you, I think LA. Honestly, like I would knock it down to 2.5, but I think I'd feel pretty comfortable with 3.5 as well. Um, I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to end up completely whooping up with the Colts, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those late drives from the Colts. Defense ends up stopping them there at the last second. So within that like 4 to 6 point range, where they obviously have to score a touchdown and all that. But with the way the Rams played last week, I mean, I could see them covering the proclaimed 3.5 point spread. But if you want to knock down 2.5 and end up doing that, that's fine too. And that should be, I think that's 4, right? If I remember correctly. Next one I got is honestly going pretty bold here. I got to go with the Browns plus 10.5. Like I said, that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of
And
points.
this is weird to say, but I think the Browns defense was better than the Ravens defense. Despite them, and like I said, I know they're home and they play really well at home. But it's like I said, it's a different defense for sure. And I guess obviously with Detroit being on a shorter week, less rest compared to with the Browns.
Mm.
Even though the Browns did come off an emotional win against a pretty decent Green Bay team, but yeah, I'd have to go with I'd have to go. Got to go bold. I think I like taking that 10.5. That's going to be my dog of the week, that's for sure. And I think that ends up wrapping up that Tweaks 20. So once again, if you're tailing that, that's Vikings minus 2.5, Chargers minus 6.5, the under for the Niners game, the LA Rams minus 3.5, and then of course the Browns plus 10.5. Now, I wish I could have a cool little tallier to figure out what that actually calculates to, but that's going to be sounding probably around like 490 off the top of my head. I could be completely wrong, and it could. Yeah.
Damn. How did you just calculate that in your head though?
I mean, I have no idea, but usually in the sense of when you do like 5 picks with $20, you can get. I mean, obviously, I know it depends on all the odds too, but like if you're doing like odds that maybe it's like minus a bunch of minus 110s, 120s, maybe a couple like plus hundreds or evens. Usually, it ends up being about plus 400, and some of the times you can even get some good low 500s depending on how that goes in and of itself too. So yep,
Yeah,
going with that.
I got distracted.
No, it's all good. There's nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I'll probably actually tail you on those bets. We should place those as soon as we can. Yeah, I'm probably going to tail you on NFL this week as I have bets out in bare knuckle and for the UFC. So don't want to go over my betting limit. Holy moly. What a day.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to get back to everything. You know what I mean? I am back into everything. I'm ready for a name. I'll get a lot more excited about it. So
yep, no doubt about that. Yeah, but all these other lines too, like I feel like just taking Las Vegas minus 1.5 is a pretty good one. What was another one I liked? Honestly, like the Bucks plus 3.5. I wouldn't mind that, even though they're down Mike Evans, but they still got a pretty deep wide receiving core. Obviously they have the rookie there, has been doing pretty well. They still have McMillan there, Shepard, and they got a pretty decent running attack too. Obviously, Philly's defense ain't no slouch, no doubt. But
Cade says,
yeah, I
"Night,
don't.
guys. Cade, get off the internet."
Hello.
Oh, for real.
But I'm telling you, if there was ever a big minus I would go after, like I'd go after that minus 14 and a half with Buffalo and the Saints. Yeah,
That's a big
pretty
stretch,
have
huh?
to. Yeah, like that one makes sense. It's the home team. Yeah, it's the abysmal Saints team. Unfortunately, like sure the Browns are the Browns, but really like if you kind of look, outside of that little blunder with the Ravens, like they had a pretty close game with the Bengals, which I don't know, it's not saying much at the beginning of the season, but pretty strong defensive outing, and then a strong enough outing to go and beat the Packers. So, like, who knows? Obviously, NFL math never ends up adding up, but
It never does. It never does.
God,
That's just like MMA math. Fuck. And it
uh
just doesn't
huh.
work out. It doesn't work out. But we got us some parlays out. You gotta get you over here. We can go fishing. We can do a live
Mm-hmm.
stream on the boat, huh?
Yeah, I got to test out that little ugly stick. See how pretty it is. You know what I mean? So,
Go jerk some rods. But anyway,
mm-hmm.
what else you got?
Nothing that I know of, except for the fact that apparently, with the Mariners clinching the playoffs, they have also clinched a first round bye already in of itself too. Now I think they're going to be the number 2 seed with
Mm.
the Blue Jays being the number 1 seed. But that's huge for Seattle. Seattle, it seems like just being geographically like at a disadvantage, and the amount of travel that they got to do. Like usually baseball, it seems like it's obvious, just like any kind of sport. Ultimately you got to find your rhythm, right?
Hmm.
But sometimes a little extra rest, it doesn't really hurt that much. I know with baseball, a lot of the seeded teams didn't really end up doing well. I think maybe the last couple of years with the new playoff format that they have, they completely revamped it and all. But I think for a team like Seattle, it's going to end up helping them. So, and the fact that they know they're going to go into a bye is, they could probably play their starters enough to keep them limber and warm, but not completely wear them down before the end of the season. And if I remember correctly, I think that last home stretch too. I I think this like last couple of weeks they've always been home, so it's not like they've had to travel for that last little bit either. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how the Mariners do. There's no doubt about it. But it'll still be a very interesting and movie playoffs nonetheless. So
We should watch it live. Some of their games because they do long drawn out series, don't they? Best of five.
it'll be best of 5 for the championship series, and then or sorry, divisional series. It should be. I think it's best of 5, and then it goes best of 7 for the championship and World Series.
Good.
Yeah, League Championship Series, World Series, respectfully. So yeah, they're getting ready to wind down, and then obviously, a couple other. I'm trying to remember when soccer's playoffs are. I think they're still in their regular season as well. I don't know when theirs ends, and I really don't know how that's been going, quite honestly. But that's another, you know, sports league to follow and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, play sports go around. Don't forget, we got slowly but surely basketball and hockey starting to start up too. In the middle of October is the absolute meat of sports mecca. Got football, college. I mean, you want to endeavor for the college sports too. You did. October's a beautiful time for sports. There's no doubt about it.
Mike says with the Mariners, sorry for the late comments, but for the
How it's
Mariners,
all good.
plus you got old boy that hit 60 homers. That guy a freak.
Aha, big dumpy rumpy, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Gosh, who saw that coming? Not even me. I don't know where does this specimen come from? Who knows? Especially like with so far everything. Trying to knock on wood here. Doing it without some extra curriculars involved. So it absolutely crazy. And I'm trying to did he even end up hitting a homer in this game too? I don't know, but getting over 60, like absolutely amazing. And with that team, the moves that they made, the aggressive moves that they made, that's kind of the whole thing too. Is like sure when it comes around like the last few years, they made moves, but they weren't like big moves, right? Now they did. You know, they got rid of Suarez, and they're like, "Nah, we want you back." They're doing pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. We're ecstatic. I'm sure. Yeah, Omer's they're the what is it? Their stadium's already all sold out. Like that's how passionate that fan base is, despite the woes that fan base has faced. So now I wish I could say I was one of the ones that bought a game ticket, but no, I did not. But I'm very ecstatic for the
Well,
playoffs and all that stuff.
hell yeah, we'll have to watch some of them or something. But
Yeah, we'll get it figured out one way or another.
Nick is just chilling in Billings, waiting for my son's football game tomorrow. Which Nick?
There you go.
Yes, sir. Awesome.
Do we know which Nick?
Nick.
Nick Barber, Nick?
Must be.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Absolute softball legend right there.
Absolute softball legend. Let's see here. Yep, Nick Barber. Let's go.
Yep. Which I think it crazy that you got a kid that's in high school already. They grow up so fast. I think he's a good kid in high school. If not, like 8th grade or something. But like,
well, should we play some Minesweeper since we're running out of shit to talk about?
Right. I mean, I still got plenty to talk about, but
oh, do you?
Sorry,
oh,
absolutely.
My social battery kind of ticked out. I think I don't know.
No, it's all good. Distracted. I know. I mean, to be fair, same, but yeah, there we go. Another brain fart. Just need to keep pouring. Yeah, bring up that Minesweeper. Oh yeah.
Billings forfeited their game here against Great Falls High. They were getting destroyed 42-0.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Great Falls. Yeah, they were home because I had a coworker invite me out to them and all that stuff. So, you know, Bison going strong, no doubt about that. Which Billings, by the way? What was a Billings senior? Did you say?
Got 2 in high school. One is a. I don't see which one.
Yeah.
Which one, Mike?
Well, that was Nick.
No, Mike said that. Right on Billings forfeit their game here.
Is what Mike said. Okay. Sorry. My fault. Yeah. Mike was the one invited me out too. I decided to be lazy and have a low social battery myself. But good for them.
Good for them. I'm waiting on that. Marty, that Minesweeper battery out. Marty, come here. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Bartholomew.
Marty, come on. Good boy. Look at him. He's just ready for bed. What time is it? Holy Moses! Is it actually that time?
Oh he's yeah. Well, ready for bed. Given the circumstances, yeah, it's we've been through a decent amount tonight and all that, but I can't argue it either way. Should be another great week. Gosh, there's even we didn't even touch and talk about college football either. Some pretty great matchups there, obviously. Yeah. I'm not going to go through that entire slate. It's one thing going through the NFL when there's 30 teams, but going through 130 teams, you might as well put the coffee on the pot there for that one. But I think if I remember correctly, there's still some pretty decent matchups. Even with Montana, if I remember correctly, goes on the road and faces Idaho. Montana's ranked fifth right now, and Idaho's ranked eighth. So it'll be a good little test for that team. No doubt about it.
Mike says it was Skyview. Skyview.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, wait. 42-0, huh? I'm trying to remember because if I think I know who the Skyview QB is. And if I know who the Skyview QB is, then I know the person who was trying to root for that QB. And I don't think he's going to be too happy. But that's neither here nor there. But, sometimes you have stinkers, and it's all right. It's all about the rebound, right?
All about the rebound, yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, both teams are ranked. I didn't even know that. Well, a big one was USC visiting Illinois. So Illinois was all the way up at rank 9 this year, but after last week's performance, got them all the way down to 23. And then USC is finally in the rankings there at 21. That should be an interesting one. Got LSU visiting Ole Miss, ranked 4 against ranked 13. Yes, what a beautiful slate. Oh, big one here. Yeah, I forgot about that one. The newly embedded Big Ten champions coming over from the Pac-12, Oregon visiting Penn State. So that'll be a fantastic one. That's like in the mid-afternoon.
I got so reamed on college football tweak. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So sometimes it just doesn't work out your way. And speaking of too, if I actually remember correctly, I might have went 0-6 on these little Frilays, so to speak. Virginia ended up upsetting number 8 Florida State tonight.
Shit.
Double overtime, yeah.
Too much partying. It's like, what school's partying this week? I swear to God. College football is the most dangerous to fucking bet on, I swear.
Oh, yeah. But that's what makes it very bold, right? We don't back away from a challenge.
I did.
Yeah. Not me. So another interesting one a lot of people are bringing up is number 1 Ohio State visiting UW, another newly embedded team for the Pac-12 into the Big Ten. Maybe it's a lot of it's fool's gold and a lot of big hype. Washington apparently has had 22 straight wins in their home stadium, which is a pretty decent milestone to get, no doubt. Number 1, I think, being Georgia, if I remember correctly, with like 38 or something crazy like that. But obviously, Ohio State being ranked number 1 for a reason as well. Kind of be interesting. And of course, being a UW fan myself, maybe it's a little biased opinion, but I'm not going to be surprised either way.
I know absolutely nothing about college football. So
yeah, like I said, I have more knowledge for NFL myself than college, but
for sure,
a lot of the experts, they want to keep an eye out for that game, no doubt. So, yeah. Well, I just can't wait. It's gonna be another great weekend of sports.
Yep, and I'm gonna be watching most of it because I think Bare Knuckle starts early tomorrow. Let me see.
I was gonna say, being across the pond, it's got to be a little early, right? And of course, we can't forget to shout out Little Miss Finley Rose, officially turning 5 today.
Oh, happy birthday to Finley! Let's go.
Yeah. She had a little surprise date with Mama and Auntie, going to now I can't remember off the top of my head, Brush Crazy. So she likes doing little artsy stuff and all that. So dad was a loser, decided to stay home and all that. But it's all good because tomorrow we're going to go to the peak, get a little shavimin going. That's exactly how I swim, by the way.
Hell yeah. We got an 11 a.m. start time for the BKFC. So I'm glad I placed those
Beautiful.
bets tonight. So I got
Yeah,
all day of
absolutely.
sports tomorrow. All day of sports. What time is the UFC start time? Probably early. They're in Australia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Okay. Not bad.
Hell yeah. Well, fuck, Tweak. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it may not be a long night for our live episode, but I'm sure it's been a long night for us, no doubt about it. On top with everyone else. Telling you, as much as I like my hat, I love your hat, by the way.
A little
I think
capybara.
that might have to be the official animal for 3P. Yeah, I don't know.
Should I see if I can buy one on the black market or something? A capybara? Can you buy a capybara? Hold
Yeah.
up. Can
Dakota, can you
I
look that up for us?
legally can legally buy a capybara?
I mean, you always probably legal to buy one. Now, can you own one?
It is legal to own a capybara in some states, but this is a complex issue. States that may allow capybara ownership. Washington is there. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's about it. That's all I got. I don't
Yeah.
want to sit here and be the boring guy because Tweak is a stat guy. I wish I knew more about college
Yeah.
just so I can keep up because he really does know at least some, like we may not get all the bets right, but at least he's saying facts about the league. It's pretty insane to sit here and listen to. And that's literally what I was doing, kind of just listening and letting you do your thing. It was great.
Well, and again, I'm not going to claim to be the expert getting all my information like from myself. Like it's, listening around and seeing what other people say as well. And obviously, I'm getting to a point where I have initial thoughts, but I'm not trying to have the initial thoughts of just like, oh, I wish I was there. I could easily show these women whippersnappers what's up. Or, like back in my day, you kind of that mentality, not trying to have that mentality, like the old peaked mentality. You know what I mean? Folks that peaked will probably say, prematurely, but are very robust about it. No, I'm not trying to go for that avenue, but with that said, like, when you just pay attention, that's really all it is. And I'm not, I'm definitely a late bloomer. There's no doubt about it. I wish I could say, when I was 4, I was jotting down the stats of every NFL game. Exactly sounding like that too, by the way. But yeah, it's, listen around, and of course, everything changes, weeks change. Especially that's the whole crazy thing with the NFL. It's not like whether it's like NBA or MLB, where it's like you're gonna have back-to-back games and you have to wait for a whole series. Like it's a week to week. There's a lot of days to discuss stuff, right? And obviously with injuries too, on top of it. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's very tedious, no doubt, when you kind of start paying attention to the nitty-gritty details of it. And I'm just scraping, tip of the iceberg of anything. There's no doubt about it. I don't get paid necessarily to just do analysis. That'd be cool, maybe at one point, but for right now, for
Soon.
grazing the top of stuff, I feel like I've been doing pretty okay. So
for real. We gotta get you just kind of like your own 10-minute segment, and then we can clip it or something to where you just do stats. Fuck.
yeah,
You're fuck.
maybe.
But hell yeah, Tweak. That's about all I got. We should get off here and do our thing. 45 minutes. To be fair, from where we started, I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did with the technology. I guess I have one more story to hopefully round us pretty close to our hour. But at the beginning, we didn't go live once. We didn't go live twice. This was our third live of the evening. Finally, we got it live to you, our Facebook listeners. So soon this episode will be up on YouTube, and we will continue to share clips, and just continue to let us know what you guys like and what you guys hate, and we will probably take your consideration and tell you to go fuck yourself.
Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully, of course.
Yeah. And speaking of which, then too, maybe be on the lookout possibly for a little bit of a tweaked logo. Hey, sorry, I couldn't resist on that one.
A tweaked logo. Oh my gosh, why is that? Oh God, now I'm wrong button. There's like 80 buttons on this chair.
Girl, drop it low, girl, drop it low, girl.
Noble Chairs definitely has great chairs, and I love them. And good stuff.
It looks like a comfy chair. So
down.
Yep. Always down. Because we're always down to spread the lays. One way or another. So at this point, spread the love, spread the lays.
Spread the legs. Wait, what?
Lays. Like the good lays. Yeah. Spreading good lays will eventually. Okay, we're not going to go into that.
Two people love each other.
Yeah. Love it. Anyways, at that point, we're probably getting to the rambling points and all that stuff. Figure it out. Anyways, I think we have figured it out for tonight. We appreciate everyone who has tuned in and commented. Hopefully, y'all continue to comment in future episodes. Like, comment, subscribe, everything at Poor Puff Predict. No spaces, no worries. Especially getting that YouTube revamped up and getting it going. Like, comment, subscribe for all that too. And I think with that said, it's time to call the night. Cannot wait for this weekend. As always, good to see you. And once again, I'm Tweak. That's Kai. I pour, he puffs it, and we predict it. Have a good night, everyone.